Listen, I know it's not cuffing season. Summer is approaching. Hot girl summer is approaching, so a lot of relationships are ending. However, for my guys out there who are vetting either for a girlfriend or maybe you're dating for a future wife, future girlfriend, whatever the case may be, I got some experience in that, and that's why in this video, I wanna let you know the 5 types of women you should never take seriously long term. Yes, these women are fun for a short time, a fun night, or as Myron says, recreational use only. However, to cuff them, absolutely not, guys, all right? Subscribe, like the video. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So I'm not gonna give you some basic advice like, oh, if she's attention seeking, oh, if she posts bikini pictures on Instagram, whatever. We've heard the same talking points over and over again. Hopefully with common sense and logic, you already know some of those points, but these are some points that you probably didn't think about. The first one is if she's competitive and or masculine. They kind of go hand in hand, right? And on the surface, I've met the most feminine, beautiful women who may present themselves that way, but when you start talking to them, whenever you start trying to schedule dates, you start to realize that competitive masculine nature about them kind of starts being revealed to itself. An example of this is whenever you're setting up a date with a girl, let's say you want to go to a bar and she doesn't drink for whatever reason, but she tells you, hey, I don't drink, how about we do this instead, or I prefer if we go here. Basically, she's overall changing the frame. Now, at first, that may come off harmless, and in some cases, it actually can be harmless. But for the most part, what I tend to realize is those women tend to be more on the masculine side because they have trouble following a man and being within a man's frame. And that's just their personality. What I tend to realize, feminine woman, even if she doesn't drink, she will still join you and get some water, or perhaps go to a lounge, you can sit down, you don't even have to drink, right? It's not about getting drinks, it's more about the environment. So a way that you can test this is see if a girl will fall within your frame and allow you to take the lead within the first few dates. Also within your personality, whenever you're talking with them, you can kind of tell if they're masculine or competitive or not just by how much they're testing you, just by how much they're just pushing your buttons, just by how much you can see whether or not they're career or goal oriented more than family and romance oriented. Listen, a lot of hopeless romantics get a bad rep, but I personally love girls who are like just those hopeless romantics that look for love, that don't really have that career driven sort of make $1 million a year mindset, because I had that mindset. I'm the masculine, I want my feminine, I want polarity, I want my yin to my yang. And I believe long term when it comes to relationships with those girls, it works best. All right, have you guys seen the video where Tyrese is describing, well, not Tyrese himself, but his wife is describing how Tyrese actually wasn't his type initially, but over time, I guess she fell for him, and how she originally liked his friend, the late Paul Walker, RIP to him, right? I saw that video and I said to myself, this is actually a rule that I have that I never realized that I have. And that is the fact that if I'm not fully her type or the attraction physically is not high, I will not date her long term. Right? Hear me out on this, guys. Through increasing my looks, I tend to realize whenever a girl perceives you as a 10 out of 10 or at least a 9 out of 10, how they act, what they do, and the things y'all just overall do together. It could be sexually, it could just be platonically, whatever you may do, the experience is just overall better, right? Whenever a girl perceives you as that high attraction and you're perfectly her type, whether it be black, Hispanic, white, and you know if you're a girl's type if you look at her dating history and you see kind of a correlation there. But whenever you're her type, you're gonna get the best and the most out of her. I'm gonna say it again, whenever you're a girl's perfect type and she perceives you as a 9 or a 10 out of 10, you're gonna get the best and the most out of her. Whenever you're not a woman's type, guess what's gonna happen? Always 1 foot out, 1 foot in. She's gonna be looking at the other men that she's attracted to on TV. She's gonna have celebrity crushes. She's gonna be screaming at concerts, showing her tits. She's gonna be going to bars, seeking attention from the men that she actually likes. Because guess what? You barely got her, bro. People talk about, oh, I got my girl, my personality or charisma or my game. But that doesn't stick a relationship, man. She has to be physically attracted to you, especially nowadays. Maybe 10, 20 years ago, you could have gotten away with winning her over by charisma, personality, or whatever. But if she isn't physically attracted to you, trust me, you're gonna have a hard time in that relationship and you're gonna get embarrassed just like Tyrese was embarrassed by his girl publicly. That's crazy to me, right? If a girl isn't fully into me, I don't want her. And that can go vice versa both ways too. Never date a girl who you aren't fully physically into. If you're settling just because she treats you right or she treats you good or her personality is so nice, but you're not really that into her, no, don't do it, don't settle. Trust me, level up, and over time, you'll probably find something better. All right, I was reading this book a long time ago. It was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And basically what he was addressing was the difference between assets and liabilities. Assets are things that we can put our money into, and they'll provide us with the value. Liabilities are things we put our money into and we lose our money, right? They hold no value or the value loses. So with that being said, number 3 is that your girl must be an asset towards your life. She must be valuable and present some sort of value to you. That seems like common sense, but you'll be surprised how often guys get into relationships where the woman literally provides zero value to them, right? Outside of sex. So she doesn't cook, she don't clean, she don't cater to you, she don't support you, she don't give you massages, she literally does nothing for you except for show up, look pretty, gives you some conversation and sex. Who would want to be in a relationship like that? Me personally, I would not. Any girl that I see long-term provides some sort of value to me that I realize they are better in my life than out of my life. Of course, as an independent man, I'm capable of fully supporting myself and doing everything pretty much myself, or at least I could outsource it to somebody. But if a woman comes into my life and shows how much she really helps me, whether it be filming, whether it be little things like, I hate washing dishes, guys, I hate it. Like little things like coming in, seeing dishes in my sink and washing them without me having to ask, then I see that as value. And the more higher value a man is, the less value he actually needs, but the more it actually goes a long way. Because as you're a high value man, you're dating around, you tend to realize most women provide absolutely zero value. And that's why most women never get cuffed up by these high value men. They're just, once again, recreational use only, all right? So if she's not providing value to you over a long period of time, or at least not showing that she's readily trying to provide you value, do not ever consider taking her seriously, ever. Number 4 is any girl that came back to you. I had this story, it's happened quite a bit, not just with one girl, not just with 2, but multiple girls, right? Whether it be from in my past, like in high school, college, I might have tried to get with this girl, talk with her, it didn't go nowhere, bad timing, but then she kind of follows back around like 5 years later and thinks that I'm gonna take her seriously or something. Absolutely not. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, I still have my business meetings, so of course. I still get it in, but when it comes to taking them seriously, no, because you didn't see my potential, right? That's your loss. You should have took the bet. And I value the woman in my life who did take the bet on me, because obviously from there, they were able to see my growth, and you can probably correlate that same to your life too. Not only from that perspective though, but let's say you try to get a girl out on a date, maybe she flaked on you a few times, or maybe you actually went out on a date with a girl, had sex with her, and she ghosted out of nowhere, but comes back months later or years later. Recreational use only. Don't ever take these girls seriously. There could be a multiple reasons. She could be understanding of her loss of value, then from there see yours, and then try to renegotiate, but it's already too late, man. It's already too late. What you're better off doing is just finding new women and prospecting new women, not going back to the past. And I also feel like that's a feminine trait, because if you realize, girls do that a lot. They go back to the past. So if they break up with their boyfriend, or if they're done with their friends with benefits, instead of going after new guys, what they usually do is go back to the old guys, the guys they had in the past, that old ex, that old friends with benefits they had 2 years ago, because now they don't want to increase their body count, or now hopefully they're thinking he's in a better spot, he may want to take me seriously. What I tend to realize is never go back to the past, and don't allow people from your past to come back into your life, especially if it's a woman who's trying to date you. So it's no news by now, Andrew Tate just got released from jail. So how does this correlate to taking a woman seriously though? What I'm saying, guys, is that basically, if you're dating a girl who absolutely hates Andrew Tate, who hates Fresh and Fit, who hates overall the Minister message, who maybe hates my message, that is a big red flag. I kid you not, that is a big red flag. Any feminine, nurturing, catering, supportive, submissive woman who deserves relationships has always, and I mean always, agreed with Andrew Tate, has always agreed with the overall red pill and Manisford talking points. Maybe some they don't agree with, but overall, they generally agree with the message. They believe in traditional values, they believe in traditional gender roles, they believe men should be men, they believe women should be women, and basically that's it. So an easy way you can tell If a girl's relationship material is, ask her, how do you feel about Andrew Tate? How do you feel about the Fresh Fit podcast? And maybe they'll be like, you know, I don't agree with some points, but overall the message I do understand, right? And that's another good sign. If they have the ability to not be in their emotions and kind of think logically for a second and get out their feelings, that is a great sign, right? Because think about it, all the women who don't like Andrew Tate, all the women who absolutely hate Myron Gaines or the Fresh Fit podcast, those tend to be the women that you probably wouldn't even date in the first place. So even if she's beautiful on the outside, if I get a sense where she, you know, she's super feminist, hate Andrew Tate, this, that, or the other, I ain't taking her seriously, man. All the girls I have in my life long term, I kid you not, we're sitting there watching the Fresh and Fit podcast together. We're sitting there watching an Andrew Tate podcast together, right? A lot of guys can't say that because they know a lot of girls actually hate that sort of content. But if she likes it, trust me, that is a good sign. And you should probably consider taking her seriously. All right, so those were the points for today. Let me know, did I miss any? And also don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and if you wanna level up your online presentation to get more dates and also build your status, check out my Digital Romeo mentorship application. I'll leave a link down below. See you guys in the next video. Peace.